My name is Bill Minnix. I'm a U.S. Air Force veteran with PTSD and advocate for justice for all veterans. I welcome you today to a presentation entitled Veterans Treatment Court, addressing the need for a Veterans Treatment Court in Deschutes County, Oregon. This is our think tank. So why are we here? To create a think tank and take steps working together with our common goals to bring to Deschutes County, Oregon, a veterans treatment court within our local court system. The program that we're here to celebrate today provides a lot for preventing recidivism, reducing relapses, and empowering veterans convicted of certain nonviolent crimes to join their communities as productive, law-abiding members of society. I'd like to show you a video on why you need to take part and make this happen. Take part.
The longest war in America's history has just ended. The men and women who fought for our freedom are among our greatest civic assets. When they return home, we're thankful and proud of their service. Most veterans are strengthened by their experience in the military, but right now, more than half of the 2.6 million who deployed to Iraq and Afghanistan return with mental health conditions related to their service. 1 in 6 struggle with addiction, and 1 in 5 have PTSD. Left untreated, these issues make it difficult to adjust to life after they return and can lead to unemployment, homelessness, and arrest. There are 700,000 vets in the criminal justice system right now, many of them arrested for charges directly related to trauma, addiction, or mental illness. For a long time, our justice system relied on punishment to change behavior. This hasn't worked. New veterans treatment courts provide an alternative to incarceration. These veterans-only courtrooms offer treatment, accountability, and structure, while connecting them to benefits they have earned. If there is no veterans treatment court available, they may end up in jail, separated from family, without treatment, and stuck in a cycle from which they may never recover. But in veterans treatment courts, they are surrounded by other veterans. They receive veteran-specific treatment, meet regularly with a veteran mentor, and they have the opportunity to get their life back on track. This year, 11,000 veterans who would otherwise be behind bars are receiving life-saving treatment. The average cost to keep someone in prison is over $22,000 a year. If the veterans who need help had gone to jail instead of treatment, the bill could have been $248 million. And those that go through the program are less likely to be rearrested. The country's first veterans treatment court has a 98% success rate. That's unprecedented in American criminal justice. Veterans treatment courts save lives, families, and futures. It returns vets to the life they fought to protect. You can help to put veterans treatment courts within reach of every veteran in need. Learn more and take action at takepart.com/returntheservice.
In the beginning. The first Veterans Treatment Court was established in Buffalo, New York by Judge Robert Russell in 2008. Judge Russell became concerned about how many veterans were being seen in mental health or drug court, so he created a special court to address veterans' unique needs. Judge Robert Russell, a New York State judge, was overseeing mental health treatment for a Vietnam veteran in his Buffalo courtroom. It was a sad and familiar case. The veteran would attend the required sessions but failed to participate or engage. Judge Russell recalls how the man, strongly built and 6 feet 4 inches tall, would slump, look defeated while in his courtroom. He avoided eye contact. Nothing was getting through. So Judge Russell asked one of his staff, a Vietnam veteran who served in the 82nd Airborne, to go talk with a man during a recess. Is there something we could do? Judge Russell recalls thinking. How do we motivate him? They returned after 20 minutes, and to Judge Russell, it looked like a different person entering the courtroom. There was a remarkable distinguishing difference in this veteran's disposition, he recalled in an interview with MSNBC. Standing erect at what they call a parade rest, which is part of the military culture, your feet slightly apart, hands cupped in the back, and he looked at me eye to eye, and he said, "Judge, I'm going to try harder." The shift made an immediate impact on Judge Russell. I was totally amazed, he said, noting how a few minutes talking with a fellow veteran apparently awakened the man, enabling him to tap into part of his military culture and embrace self-improvement. Judge Russell recalls asking his staff, "What the heck did you all do?" The answer was simple. They discussed commonality, where they served in Vietnam, and after they had a discussion about their military service, he recounted they addressed what they wanted him to get better. House Bill 3194 during the 2013 Oregon legislative session was passed. This is a House bill that allows veteran treatment courts. I really believe it's time for our state legislators to update these regulations. Section 1.1, the adult drug court team shall include the following roles and agencies. Note, the first one is a judge, prosecuting and defense attorneys, treatment provider, court coordinator, case manager, probation and law enforcement officer. Depending on local program design, other appropriate key stakeholders should be added to the team. Please note further what this House bill mandates. Sections 7.1 through 7.4. The adult drug court judge shall serve a term of at least 2 years. Longer terms are better. Consistency of the judge for participants correlates with better outcomes. Rotating, alternating judges should be avoided. The drug court judge shall be knowledgeable about the drug court model, addiction, treatment methods, drug screening, and other related issues. In other words, he is knowledgeable of this and supervises staff and all other agencies that are involved. 7.3, the adult drug court team should include one primary judge and a second judge trained in the adult drug court philosophy and protocols to cover any status hearing during the absence of the primary judge. It is recommended the second judge rotate through the program for a term of at least 2 years to ensure better outcomes. The adult drug court judge shall attend all pre-court staffing meetings, and at a minimum, the pre-court staff meetings shall occur at the same frequency as in the advance of all status hearings. Here, House Bill 2462 sets further groundwork for Veterans Treatment Court. The court shall inform the defendant that the defendant's status as a service member may make the defendant eligible for treatment programs, diversion, specialty courts, or mitigated sentencing, and that the defendant may obtain information about these options by consulting with the defendant's attorney. Very important here. Here we have a news flash from 2013. from our local news channel, 21. Deschutes DA creating Veterans Treatment Court. The same thing we're talking about today. However, because there was no federal funds available at that time and funding was very difficult to get, this never materialized. We will be talking about available federal funding a little bit later in this presentation. On November 9th, 2020, the District Attorney's Office launched the Veterans Intervention Strategy. The VIS is a Deschutes County specific program designed to provide local justice-involved veterans with the opportunity to improve their criminal justice outcomes by helping them address their mental health illnesses and/or substance use disorders that have played a role in their criminal activity. The VIS is a voluntary interagency program for veterans that requires the expertise and compassion of staff from the DA's office, the Central Oregon Vet Center, public defenders, the Deschutes County Sheriff's Office, and community justice with critical support from other community stakeholders that offer an array of veteran-specific services and resources. I support the efforts of the DA and those that are involved in this program. However, what is missing here? The judge is missing. And as we went through the House bill a little while ago, it does state there shall be a judge. The power of our DA. Prosecutors have used their power to pack jails and prisons. It has taken decades, billions of dollars, and thousands of laws to turn the United States into the largest incarcerator in the world. But did you know that prosecutors also have the power to dismantle this machine, even without changing a single law? And we see that in our community today, how our DA wants to work with veterans and help those. And we see that nationwide where there's a lot of reform going on our judicial system. A DA's duties typically include reviewing police arrest reports, deciding whether to bring criminal charges against arrested people, and prosecuting criminal cases in court. The DA may also supervise other attorneys, called deputy district attorneys or assistant district attorneys. However, a veteran's mental health records must always be protected. In doing so, a veteran should never be compelled to turn over those records to prosecution and private entities. There is a law that protects mental health records from going to just anyone, commonly known as HIPAA. Ensuring strong privacy protections is critical to maintaining individuals' trust in their healthcare providers and willingness to obtain needed healthcare services. And these protections are especially important where very sensitive information is concerned, such as mental health information. I know just about every veteran that I talk to does not want to turn over their PTSD records or their traumatic brain injury records to anybody where those can be exposed to the public. We must reach a common ground to bring Veterans Treatment Court with a judge to our community. By sharing opinions, by joining forces with those involved in the intervention program, together we can achieve a common aim or purpose, which would be to have a Veterans Treatment Court with a judge. In 2019, I went to Washington, D.C. on 2 occasions to meet with U.S. senators and House members on Capitol Hill. Seeking federal funding to bring courts to community was one of my agendas. Walking the halls of Congress, I met numerous representatives from the House and U.S. senators from the Senate. Taking charge, I met with Laura Odata, the military policy advisor to U.S. Senator McSally. Sponsoring the bill that we're about to talk about, I met with veteran U.S. Congressman Brian Mast of Florida. The Veterans Treatment Coordination Act of 2019 was passed and signed into law August 2020. Senator McSally was the sponsor, and one of the co-sponsors was Brian Mast, Congressman from Florida. It states in pertinent part, the establishment, subject to the availability of appropriations, in coordination with the Secretary of Veterans Affairs, the Attorney General shall establish and carry out a veteran treatment court program to provide grants and technical assistance to court systems that 1. Have adopted a Veterans Treatment Court program, or 2. Have filed a notice of intent to establish a Veterans Treatment Court program with the Secretary. The purpose of the Veterans Treatment Court program, established under subsection A, is to ensure the Department of Justice has a single office to coordinate the provision of grants, training, and technical assistance to help state, local, and tribal governments to develop and maintain veteran treatment courts. So it's our duty to make sure that we file a notice of intent here in Deschutes County to the Secretary of State so that we can apply for grants for the Veterans Treatment Court, federal grants. The first avenue we must take for funding is contacting the CJC and our state legislature. Note that recently, total grant funds awarded in Oregon under the CJC for 2019-2020 was over $14 million. Deschutes County was only awarded $241,586 for family court. We need much more than that. The DNCI, National Drug Court Institute, also has federal grants available, as I will show you here. I encourage our commissioners, our court staff, and representatives to begin the process of securing grants for the Veterans Treatment Court here in Deschutes County. It's imperative we bring that. Bringing the Veterans Treatment Court will save lives. And now we will watch Veterans Treatment Court in action. Trigger warning, this video contains simulated combat footage.
Hey, gun's already! Get it! Get it! Sniper!
The visions, the nightmares, the beating up my wife while I was asleep at night just was intolerable. I thought I was going crazy.
I wanted everything to end. I wanted to get revenge. I wanted to die.
When I returned home from Vietnam in 1968, I had no idea what post-traumatic stress disorder was. I just thought, hey, everything's normal, and I was drinking a lot.
Whether or not they were in Vietnam or Iraq or Afghanistan, most of them are very, very young. I have clients at 23 years of age who've done 7 tours. Their families said each time they came back, they were more and more disturbed. And you can see how it'd be very difficult to recover from that. And you can see how someone might use alcohol as a coping mechanism. The suicide rates alone should be justification for us as a community to stand up and to help these veterans. Veterans treatment, where it actually arose out of the increasing numbers of young veterans that were returning with post-traumatic stress and intersecting with criminal justice, and also examining the huge number of our homeless Vietnam-era vets suffering from untreated post-traumatic stress disorders. So what we wanted to do was create an environment where they could receive evidence-based treatment to support each other in their pathway to recovery.
Veterans treatment courts are so unique in that instead of sending those who serve to jail or prison, they utilize volunteer veteran mentors from the community. I mean, veterans literally come to the courthouse and mentor these veterans who are struggling with substance abuse or mental health conditions.
We advise them, we support them, we also point out various VA opportunities for them.
It's not a combat situation, but you build that trust and confidence in each other, and that's what's helped me with my PTSD too.
Regardless of how you feel about the war, we took these human beings who were healthy and strong and brave, put them in a situation that we know profoundly changes human beings.
One of my really good friends was killed. I mean, it really devastated me. I wanted nothing to do with anybody but, you know, crawl in a bottle and go drink.
There was this young girl, maybe about 16, 17 years old, and she was a cashier. And I saw her, in my mind, wearing a burqa. Instantly, I wanted to punch her. And I remember shifting my shoe left to right, and I tapped on the floor, and I said, this isn't sand, and this isn't dirt, and I'm not in another country somewhere. Luckily, I was able to have gone through some PTSD courses the VA and the court system provided for me. Diaphragmatic breathing and cognitive thinking. Those tools are what helped me pull myself out of my own head.
Veterans treatment courts are solving so many issues that veterans are facing.
The whole program is life-changing for these guys. Gives them a second chance.
Veterans Court has taught me that I'm in this, and I'm going to get out of this what I put into it.
I feel like I'm giving something back, something that my generation never got when we came home from Vietnam.
There's nothing more thrilling than seeing a mentee come in there screaming and yelling and almost saying, I want no part of this program. And then 18 plus months later, seeing them graduate as totally different people. And I have yet to attend one of those without needing a handkerchief.
I can't emphasize enough the fact that we need to have a combat vet court in every jurisdiction in the United States. Justice is not just unless we as a community stand up and help them regain who they were to make them whole.
In closing, I wish to thank all of you for watching and those of you that are going to be participating in the future to make this a reality, the VTC. Thank you to TakePart.com for allowing us to share their videos, and thank you to all of our veterans for their service to our nation. You may contact me at weareonebill@live.com. God bless you, and thank you.